from the back pockets of producers and give it to groups like Acorn, which are going to advance the Democrat Party. If anybody in the government were doing this, it would be a crime. And many of us think it's bordering on that as it exists now. President Obama is so busy trying to foment and create anger in a created atmosphere of crisis. He is so busy fueling the emotions of class envy that he has forgotten it's not his money he's spending. Yeah. In fact, the money he's spending is not ours. He is spending wealth that has yet to be created. And that is not sustainable. It will not work. This has been tried around the world. And every time it's been tried, it's a failed disaster. What's the longest war in American history? Somebody saying the war on poverty? Smart group. Yep, war on poverty. War on poverty essentially started in the 30s as part of the New Deal, but it really ramped up in the 60s with Lyndon B. Johnson, part of the Great Society, War on Poverty. We have transferred something like 10 trillion, maybe close to 11 trillion, from producers and earners to non-producers and earners since 1965. And yet, as I listen to the Democrat Party campaign, why, America's still a soup kitchen. The poor are still poor, and they have no hope. And they're poor for what reason? Well, they're poor because of us, because we don't care, because we've gotten rich by taking from them. That's what kids in school are taught today. That's what others have said to the media. You know why they're poor? You know why they remain poor? Because their lives have been destroyed by the never-ending government aid that's designed to help them, but it destroys ambition. It destroys the education they might get to learn to be self-reliant. We lose track of numbers with all of the money that's been transferred, redistributed, with all the charitable giving in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, there ought not be any poverty except among those who genuinely are ill-equipped. But most of the people in poverty in this country are equipped for far much more. They've just been beaten down. They've been told, don't worry, we'll take care of you. There's nothing out there for you anyway. You're going to be discriminated against. And it breaks our heart to see this. We can't have a great country and a growing economy with more and more people being told they have a right, because of some injustice that's been done to them or some discrimination, that they have a right to the earnings of others. And it's gotten so out of hand now that what worries me is that this administration, the Barack Obama administration, is actively seeking to expand the welfare state of this country because he wants to control it. George Will once asked Dr. Friedrich von Hayek, tremendous classical liberal economist, great man. George was in 1975, Dr. von Hayek, why is it that intellectuals, the supposed smartest people in the room, why is it that intellectuals can look right at their windows, look at their own homes, their cars, look at their universities, and not see the bounties and the growth and the greatness of capitalism? And von Hayek said, I've troubled over this for years, and I've finally concluded that for intellectuals, pseudo-intellectuals, and all liberals, it's about control. It's not about raising revenue. You think Obama has any intention of paying for all of this spending? Folks, if he had any intention of paying for it, he wouldn't do 90% of it because we don't have the money. They don't care about paying for it. Oh, that's just words. Oh, that's just rhetoric, paying for it, because he knows you have to worry about paying for it. He knows we all have to be concerned about, except, wrong again, except the wards of Barney Frank and Chris Dodd, who were given homes that everybody knew they could never pay for. And And now Barney Frank and Chris Dodd, the architects along with Bill Clinton of the policy that gave us the whole subprime mortgage crisis, get to sit around and act as innocent spectators to investigate what went on when they largely had the biggest role in causing it? Congressman Frank's definition of affordable housing is you get a house that you don't have to pay for, that everybody else in the neighborhood will pay for. And why? Well, because it's unfair that some people can have a house and some people can't. Gee, it's just unfair. So, here we have two systems. We have socialism, collectivism, Stalin, whatever you want to call it, versus capitalism. Now, admittedly, over here on the right side, capitalism, there will be unequal outcomes because we're all different. And some of us care more and have more passion, and we know what we want to do, and others are still struggling for it. Some people are just going to work harder than others. Okay, you get what you work for. Those who have a genuine inability, for whatever reason, are taken care of. We're compassionate people. On the left side, when you get into this collectivism, socialism stuff, these people on the left, the Democrats and liberals today, claim that they're pained by the inequities and the inequalities in our society. They believe that these inequities and inequalities descend from the selfishness and the greed of the achievers. And so they tell the people who are on different income quintiles, whatever lists, they say, it's not that you're not working hard enough. You could have what they have, perhaps, if you applied it. They're stealing it from you. So what liberals do, and I say this again to another thing, I know people in the country are watching. I was watching a focus group after some event this week. It might have been after Obama's State of the Union show. And they had, it was a typical, drive-by media focus group. They round up losers who hear Obama speak and think that the next day their gas tank's going to get filled up, they're going to get a new house, a new kitchen, a new car. So this one guy said, oh, I think it was some guy responding to Bobby Jindal. Oh, by the way, did you hear Joe Biden? Joe Biden was mystified how Bobby Jindal got his shift off at 7-Eleven that night to make the speech.